Right, today I wanted to open up a different topic. It's not my usual topics that I talk about on my channel, and I am trying to open it up a little bit more in different areas of who I am and the things that I like, and opening it up and sharing it with you all. All right, so I felt impressed today to talk about perfectness. And I find that because I speak for myself, I felt that it was important because I feel like with the images and because of society and because the public image and everything around us, it's all focused on the image of, well, especially women. Let me gear it more for women. The image that how we should be, the size that we should be, the way our hair should be, what we look like exterior. And I feel like, we all feel the pressure. We all can feel that sense of pressure of, well, I need to be a size 2, or I need to be a size, a tiny woman to be a beautiful woman. And I wanted to talk a little bit today for any of you, and if that's not you, then you don't have to watch this video. You might want to go to another one. But I wanted to talk today just one-on-one with somebody that may be feeling exactly that way. That you do not fit the image that you have been brainwashed to believe. That you perhaps feel that you are not perfect, or that you haven't, you have to be beautiful or thin on the outside to be able to fit into that mold that we believe, or we've taught ourselves to believe, or accepted to believe. When in fact, I know that I had struggled many times with that issue. And I'm coming to you being real. I am not perfect, and my videos are not going to be perfect. Today, I don't have my hair all nice and gussied and all perfectly done, or my makeup. It's like at the end of the day, and this is who I am. This is me. This is Mrs. Leafy Greens, who I am on YouTube. And for those of you who don't know my name is Andrea. There is a person behind that, Mrs. Leafy Greens. And so I feel that for the most part, I feel the pressure that because of my channel, I have to be like this perfect image, this perfect person. When in fact, I'm not. I'm so far from perfect. I am not perfect. I am so imperfect. Yes, I am so imperfect, but I want to share from my heart that through my imperfectness, through my falls and journeys in life, hardships and things that I may have been through in the past, God sees me as his perfect child. And even though I may not in my mind be the size I think I have always been told in my mind that I needed to be, or, have you ever been told, somebody may be able to relate to this because this is so typical, all right? And I know this comes from many years back as a teenager, was that I have been told, oh, she's got such a pretty face. How many times have you heard that one? Yeah. What is that saying? Well, you have a pretty face, but the rest of you is just ain't fitting it. No. So many times we hear these things over and over and over, whether it be verbally through someone, whether it be through a magazine that we're looking at an image of a woman, or whether it be because that's what everybody's doing. Those are the channels that are getting the hits, the subscribers, the views that are making the top dollar on YouTube. But you know what? In fact, it's not. They're not perfect. they are far from being perfect. There's no one that's perfect here. And I've realized that I am who I am, and God created me beautiful in the image that He created me. No matter if when I was back in the day, a size 24 or a size the lowest that I've been, which was probably, I got down maybe into a size 4. I mean, very short time, but let's say a size 6. And I know for some that would be like, oh my gosh, that is so heavy. Size 6 is not heavy. It depends on your frame. It depends on, what you call heavy. It's all in the eyes of the person that is looking into the camera, right? So the pressure that so many of us feel because of what everybody thinks how women should look, or what size, or, just in general, everything that is put under a microscope, and the pressure that we as women feel, we've taken that so long. And in this video is to say, you know what? It stops right here, right now. Now, the only motivation I can say is that I do believe that I made changes in the past because I ate horribly. And I don't know, sometimes I think things may drive us, or things emotionally that go through in our lives, in our journey, may, some people may drink, some people may take drugs, some people just use food as a drug. And I never really saw it that way before. I never saw food like I would eat out of emotional. I would say, no, that wasn't me. And then, I started to think about it, and I was like, well, I think it could have very well been, because so many times I heard so many negative things growing up that it was like I was never good enough. I felt like I was never good enough. And I'm not trying to point the finger at anybody. I'm just saying in general that so many times we feel this way because of the remarks, the things that people say. They don't really realize it, or they may not mean it with bad intentions, but words have long-lasting effects. And, not only that, but just the identity growing up. Like, my parents were divorced. My dad never played a role in my life. And I, as a girl, your father plays this, has an important part in your life that kind of sets the tone for the man that she's going to meet, that she's going to marry. And, it just kind of sets that image of who you would want, somebody that would fit, your dad, like being a good dad, so a good husband to your mom, you have, a good, somebody that's there all the time when you need. And when that is stripped away when you're a child, you carry these baggages. It's almost like, you carry a baggage, and each thing becomes this big hump because you're carrying around all these emotional baggages that get put on us because of one thing or another. And then we are doing things, we're eating because of those emotions, or we're feeling like I'm not good enough. And for so many years, I always felt like I was not good enough because, well, number one, my dad didn't care about me. He left, he abandoned us. Well, I mean, who else is going to care for me? So you carry these emotional baggages, and they have a lasting impact unless you decide and say, no, this cannot go on any longer. I cannot let other people affect me this way. And I have God in my life that has given me a lot of wisdom and strength through the years later in life. And, I've had to, I've just had to deal with a lot of emotional baggage because of not having my dad and the insecurities that imposed in me. And, so, I wanted to share today and open up who I am, because I know that there is somebody out there that has maybe gone through that, an abandonment from a parent, a dad, somebody that's been carrying around this baggage of I'm not good enough. I'm too fat, or I'm not the right size, or I don't have this or that, or I don't look this way or that way. I'm here today to say you are beautiful, just the way you are. No matter what size you are, no matter how long or short your hair is, no matter how thin or wide your nose may be, no matter how small or large your eyes are, no matter how thin or thick your lips are, no matter what color you are beautifully and wonderfully made. We have been made in God's image. And I'm here to tell you that you don't have to worry anymore about what other people say, because you are beautiful just the way you are. And the message I want to give, especially to those that are young women that grow up in these days that we're living in these times that make it so much harder because of the images that we have out there. They're so hard on the body. So many people going through eating disorders, going through self-esteem, giving themselves to boys that they don't need to be doing that at this, instead of waiting for that special someone. So I'm here to say you are beautiful just the way you are. Love yourself, accept, embrace who you are, who God created you to be. Well, I hope that you feel loved, because there are so many people that don't feel loved. And I went through that. I went through so many years of feeling unloved. And I would say, very later in my life, during this, I don't know, maybe in the last 6 years, I really can see that the love that I was lacking was always there. And even though it wasn't through my, father, or maybe, not directly from family, because I didn't have many family members that lived where I lived in the state that I was living in. I didn't have that kind of support. But, I look now and I can see that God was there all the time. God was there all along. And He never abandoned me. He loved me. He was patient for me. And He loves you and will do the same for you. God bless you, and I love you, and you are a beautiful person that God created. And I hope you feel that hug. God bless, and I love you. Take care.